go. Gamefound and Kickstarter are not your friends. Angry man. Talk like a normal freaking person is back. Screw all of the acclaim for everything else. You know what that means. Unpopular board game opinion time. Let's freaking go. We have to talk about the preview quotes again as a quick side note at the beginning here. Holy F-balls, Batman. January, ramping up the worthless, garbage-filled, empty meaning hype. The main thing you have to remember about this game, folks, is that you have to get the most victory points in order to win. This mechanic is really gosh darn gee golly fun. People are getting paid to say this garbage. I don't care if you get paid. But this is garbage. Garbage, garbage, garbage. It doesn't help you actually know anything useful about whether or not the game is for you. And yeah, I'm ad-libbing just a tiny bit there, but these might as well be freaking Mad Libs where you're just filling out insert adjective here, insert verb here. This game is blank. You need to blank the blank. And you can fill that with expletives too, based on how mad I am right now. And it'd make as much sense. And guess what? It'd probably be as helpful as these quotes in the first place. I just saw this online the other day. They were talking about politics. Oh, he's going to wade into politics. Don't get into politics, Chris, on a board game video. Guess what? I'm going to wade in there for just a second and you'll know exactly where I'm going. The comment was something along the lines of, I think it was Democrats. You need to stop speaking like politicians and speak like normal people. Paid preview quotes. Let's talk about a normal quote for this, not something that is going to be horrible on the page in terms of deciphering, right? I just thought this game was the most fun game that I've played in a long time with this mechanism. I just loved it. Was blah, 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 blah. Talk like a normal freaking person. Give me a quote that isn't 5 out of 5 or it was the awesomest. Just, speak like a freaking normal person, like I'm having a normal conversation with you sitting at the board game table and we're saying, hey, what did you think of that game? Well, you know what, Chris? I thought that the way that you won the game and how you got the most points. No! Nobody talks like that. Oh man, that was a hell of a lot of fun. Hey, you want to play that one again? Hell yeah, I do. Right? Why? This cryptic language, again, to confuse you and to make it obtuse in, did this person actually like the game? Or is it going to be one that we see in their purge video 2 weeks after it gets delivered, right? Oh, I can't tell. And speaking of things I'm not sure I have a whole lot of value in, everybody's got an award nowadays. Everybody needs to have an award. We've got, the German ones and the Spanish ones and the French ones and now the North American ones and the channels, this and that. And now Board Game Geek, I guess maybe they felt threatened by the Dice Tower, right? Dice Tower's doing their Hall of Everything fame. And then Board Game Geek now has to go Hall of Fame, blah, 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 blah. It's marketing. I think some of it is absolutely genuine. And I think some of it is a significant degree of marketing or attention in the latter case for Board Game Geek. Because, I think it's clickbait marketing to entice the masses to come over. Say this with me, folks. Gamefound and Kickstarter are not your friends. Gamefound and Kickstarter want to have a parasocial relationship with you, just like any other business, any other situation, we'll say, where they're trying to get money out of you. They want to get your dopaminergic rush. They get paid off of the campaign's getting paid. So they don't care what the campaign does. They just want the campaign to get more money so they get their tax off the transaction. And guess what? They want you to do it. That's why these pages are designed. That's why they are laid out preferentially for, businesses, for publishers to put the big pictures at the top and to throw the rule book all the way down at the bottom. They don't want you actually being informed, because informed ultimately probably is going to mean that it gets less funds. It gets less funds, then they don't get as big of pay cut and paycheck. I don't think there's anything wrong with the capitalistic business nature of this. I don't care if it's a pre-order or a crowdfunding. But let's not pretend that they're your friends. They're not looking out for you. They aren't. They're trying to get your business more and more and more. I mean, that's the side of things that publishers aren't saying. They're saying, well, I think Gamefound is really just this better for me giving a better product to people on the campaign. No! They're charging you less. Gamefound has less transactional fees than Kickstarter. Woo! That's why people are going over there. Shock of all shocks. Again, business. It is a slightly better page overall. They have a built-in, pledge manager. No problem there. It's easier for them. But for you or I, guess what? Zero difference. So, before anyone is throwing their arms up going, Chris, you're wrong. Stretch pay is all for the people that are supporting the pledges. Well, again, this is where that little caveat comes in, right? Because stretch pay for me is kind of a similarity to credit cards, right? Your credit card on a monthly basis, it never makes you actually pay it off, right? It doesn't actually do that. And where I'm going with this, you'll get it in a second. Credit cards don't make you pay them off because they don't want you to pay them off, because then they accrue interest and they make more money. Stretch pay, and again, I'm not sure on this, but I'm looking into this, right? It's stretch pay. You make these consecutive payments, right? And if you go over to the creator fees of things, the creator fees says that we take 5% of each successfully collected payment. Okay, that's a collected payment. And also a fixed payment processing fee of 3% plus 0.2 per transaction in the project currency. So if I'm reading that correctly, again, maybe I'm totally wrong on this, and I'd be happy to be wrong. It sounds like every time you make a stretch pay. So again, that's not really because it benefits you the most, but if they're getting paid by transaction, then you're giving them more transactions, which is fine. It ultimately, I'm not sure really affects you whatsoever. Again, it's making pennies off of every single transaction. And when you're making $156 million on your website in a year, as in the 2024s, that is a whole lot of freaking money. And I'm not saying Gamefound, I'm not just looking at them exclusively, but I mean, Kickstarter and Backer could do this too. It's just, okay, this is the stretch pay situation. And again, maybe I'm completely wrong though. And again, yes, disclaimer again here, yes, I am aware of the stable pledge program when it comes to shipping. But that is also an opt-in that creators have to say that they're willing to do. And also it says that it's only a 10% increase in over what they put on the page in the first place. So if you're a creator and you don't want to worry about that, all you have to do is estimate a little bit higher than what you think it's actually going to be. And then it actually doesn't, or becomes just moot. And so it's good in theory. Maybe somebody has. Maybe people are definitely backing out on some of those things, and I just haven't heard about it. And I'd be completely okay with that. But again, it's one of those things that I think really looks good on paper, but as a backer, is it actually going to happen? Because from a creator side of things, I just wouldn't even want to be put in that position. And if I was the person running the campaign in the first place, that's what I'd say. It's an idea that is nice, but is it practical in terms of, like, when you see a medical clinical paper that says this medication reduced blood pressure, and you go, okay, wow, that P value was really significant. The P was less than 0.05, which is statistically significant. But then you look at the paper and it said, well, the statistics were significant, but the actuality of what it did to the blood pressure, well, the blood pressure was only reduced from 140 to 139 as the top value. And you go, well, that's good in theory, but the actuality of it in real life application and practice for you and me and Joe Schmo, who's getting high blood pressure even watching this or talking about it, isn't as good as I really need it to be, though. It's great for the hobby that it has competition. It has caused Kickstarter to actually care a little bit, maybe. But let's not pretend that it really benefits you. It's not like Gamefound or BackerKit have said, hey, you know what? We want to get customers over here more. You know, if you've backed 5 Gamefound projects, we'll give you 5% off of your next project that you back. No, they don't do that. That's right. Why would they do that? I mean, you can get the little follow thing, but that's not from Gamefound. That's not from BackerKit. That's not from Kickstarter, right? So there we go, right? You overvalue your games. You overvalue your games. Your games aren't worth half as much as you think they are. In fact, I'd make the argument that the second it lands on your doorstep, the second you have it there, you've probably lost about as much appreciation that happens when you buy a car. If you try and sell a game that isn't exclusive, that is not absolute FOMO driven, that is not in, rare exclusivity or very limited quantity, you're probably losing 30% the second it hits your door, period. You want to sell it? Oh, better cut it in half in terms of what it is online, then knock another $5 off and hope that the shipping is under $10 to get somebody to buy it. You think that you are going to get this recouping of value from stuff if you buy it and then resell it. You will not get that much, period. Second thing, you overvalue. You overvalue on winning, right? Everybody wants to win, but I guarantee too much of this focus in this hobby is about winning games. Everybody knows somebody who does everything to win, right? You know what matters more than winning? Getting stuff played, having fun with the stuff that you're playing. Screw ratings, screw awards at the beginning. Is the game fun for you? Do you enjoy playing it? Screw winning, screw awards, screw all of the acclaim for everything else. That's what matters the most. That's why the games in my top 10 from this past year, 2024, were those freaking games, right? It's the ones that I said, holy F-balls, Batman, this is the stuff that's fun. And that triumphs over mechanical greatness, that triumphs over, this is so inspirational. The theme is so incorporated. The mechanics are the most grindy, sound, deep layered, victory point, smorgasbord, point salad across the board. This is the technical masterpiece unlike anything you've ever... No, screw it. Did you have fun or not? Did I maximize out the dopaminergic rush from the playing, not from the crowdfunding clicking? Your boy, done. Peace out.